Emma Curtis Hopkins, Teacher of Teachers. Emma Curtis Hopkins was an American spiritual author and leader. She was also involved in the origination of the New Thought movement. She was often called the Teacher of Teachers because a number of her students went on to found their own churches or to become prominent in the New Thought movement. Hopkins was a primary theologian, teacher, writer, feminist, mystic, and prophet who ordained hundreds of people, including women, at what she named, with no tie to Christian Science, the Christian Science Theological Seminary of Chicago. Hopkins also believed that the changing roles of women at the time were an indication of their divinity being realized and signaling a new epoch identifying with the mother, or feminine-like aspect of God. The New Thought movement usually credits Phineas P. Quimby, who died in 1866, as the central founder, but New Thought did not formally organize itself until Emma Curtis Hopkins brought together and focused the national movement in 1886 through 88, with a base in Chicago. Her first work, Class Lesson 1888, ignited flashpoints for organized New Thought. Many of the great New Thought authors of the time studied with Emma Curtis Hopkins, including Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, founders of Unity, Ernest Holmes, founder of Religious Science, Melinda Kramer and Nona L. Brooks, founders of Divine Science, and Harriet Emily Cady, author of Unity's cornerstone text, Lessons in Truth. Hopkins wrote many books on spiritual healing and the soul's relationship with God. She died at her home in Connecticut in 1925. Reverend Mary A. Tumpkin. According to Mary Tumpkin, preaching was in her blood. Her grandmother was a preacher, and Mary herself began preaching in her Detroit, Michigan church at the tender age of 13. Though her minister encouraged her calling, she resisted. She initially began a career in banking, and then she and her husband migrated to Miami, Florida. The seed for UTC was planted when the Reverend Mary A. Tumpkin, who was holding church services in her living room, captured the attention of renowned motivational speaker Les Brown. Brown insisted on introducing her to his spiritual mentor, the Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman of Chicago, Illinois. Reverend Coleman, the founder and then president of the Universal Foundation for Better Living, UFBL, was so impressed with Reverend Tumpkin that she recruited her to serve as the liaison for a Miami-based affiliate of the UFBL. On Sunday, September 29, 1982, 80 adults and 46 children chartered the Universal Truth Center for Better Living, UTC. Reverend Coleman performed a spiritual baptism ceremony for the charter members and presided over UTC's first worship service, which was held in the community center of a housing project in the neighborhood known as Liberty City. On January 2, 1994, 800 supporters participated in the UTC groundbreaking ceremony for the $1.5 million facility UTC now occupies. Today, 20 years later, every wall, doorway, window, paver, and parking stone serves as a reminder of the power of faith, love, and cooperation. Reverend Tumpkin also served as the UFBL president from 1995 to 2013. She transitioned in November 2013.
Two, just because you accept it as true doesn't mean that it is the truth. What it means is whatever you accept is going to govern your experience. Hello? Truth cannot govern your experience until you know it. Let's go back to what Jesus said. You shall know the truth. Not believe it. Not hear it. But you shall know it, and then you shall be free. I ain't free and I done read 15 books. Put the book down and get something in your soul.